Do you want a fully customized wedding invitation suite? Well, we have a great place for you to go. It's called Minted. It has independent artists from around the world where you can get custom designs.
You can get a whole suite from save the dates to your thank you notes. And you can get free address printing. Just go to fromringtovanil.com/minted.
I'm Shannon.
And I'm Kim.
And you are listening to From Ring to Veil,
a wedding planning podcast,
where we share tips and information to help you plan the wedding of your dreams.
Without all the stress.
Wedding venues in Snohomish and East King County, episode number 111.
Oops. Sorry.
I'm like, I hope that's 111.
Yeah. Are you subscribed to our show? If not, please do. Subscribe to From Ring to Veil anywhere you listen to podcasts. And if you don't know how to do that, just let us know. We'll walk you through it.
Washington State is a beautiful place to have a wedding.
It's a beautiful place, period.
Yeah.
But if you're going to get married, this is an awesome place. And there are tons of venues. I mean, all over the state.
Right.
It's crazy.
So we're going to give a little love to our home area today.
That's right.
Of Snohomish County and East King County. This is probably going to be a series. We're going to do Washington first, and then we're probably going to venture out into other states.
Yes. We felt more comfortable here since we've been to a lot of these places.
So if you are listening and you do own a venue in another state, give us a shout out and we'll talk to you.
Yeah. Get you on our list. If you're planning on having a wedding, you might think about Washington for a destination.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
I mean, you can have your wedding almost any time of the year. I mean, yes, it rains a lot.
Yeah, it can rain
especially
a lot,
in Western Washington. But there's indoor and outdoor venues. So
that's right.
I mean, the gorgeous views, the mountains, the beaches. I can't wait till we start talking about the Olympic Peninsula.
Yes. Yes, we may just have to take a little trip over there, take some pictures ourselves. So we're going to start off with Snohomish County, which we know fairly well. We've been part of a wedding guild, so we've gotten to know a lot of the venues out there. We're going to start with a place that you guys have probably already heard of. It's called the Lookout Lodge, and it's in Snohomish County. We personally know the owner and
the venue coordinator, which they're both awesome people.
Yes, we love them a lot. So we thought we'd start off with them.
So the Lookout Lodge can hold up to 200 guests. And if I'm not mistaken, they are expanding that a little bit. They have tented areas so you can have your reception at. But they also have 2 ceremony areas that are really nice.
A smaller and a larger. So it would fit whichever one you'd like.
Right.
They have awesome views. I mean, it's ridiculous. So they're in the trees. They're kind of up on a hill. And you can see the mountains in the distance on a nice clear day. It's just gorgeous out there. Yeah. You feel like you're in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
But
it's very woodland-esque, very rustic. So if that's your vibe and you want that peaceful feeling that you get when you go into the mountains and you're in the middle of nowhere, this is the great place to go.
Right. And apparently they are open for weddings between June and September.
And I think it said October upon request.
Right. And I guess that just it depends on the weather that year.
Because it's mainly an outdoor venue.
Yeah.
There's no indoor space to have a reception.
And sometimes in October you can do pretty well. I mean, it just depends on the year and La Nina and El Nino. Like right now we're having lots of snow. But in October we didn't.
Right.
So it all kind of just depends.
The next one is we have worked personally at twice. It's Lord Hill Farms. And the ceremony area can hold up to 350 guests, but the reception area can hold up to 450 guests. So if you want more people at your reception than your ceremony, it's a great place.
Yeah. That's kind of funny to me. We don't want you there for the ceremony, but you can come party with us.
Well, because they have an upstairs and a downstairs, and the upstairs is their ceremony area, which it has great views.
Yes, it's beautiful out there.
It has a big open window, and you really don't need much up there for decor for your ceremony. And so it's kind of a limited space upstairs, but the downstairs space is wide open.
Yeah, yeah. And I have to say, it looks out over their gardens, which they've beautifully manicured. And there's ceremony sites out there too, aren't
Right.
there? It's gorgeous. Yeah. It's a barn, but it doesn't feel like a barn, right?
It's a very elegant barn.
Yes.
Of course, it's wood, it's timber, but it has elegant chandeliers, and there's draping and stuff around it. And the upstairs ceremony area is carpeted, and there's this big, huge, wide staircase, great for pictures.
Right.
So
it doesn't feel like a barn.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a barn, and it's open year round because you can do indoor ceremony and reception.
That's right. It's a beautiful place. Check that out. The next one is Hidden Meadows. Have we been out there?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
We haven't worked out there, but I've been out there.
Okay. So they can fit up to 350 guests in their facilities.
It has an outdoor gazebo for ceremonies, and they are in the valley.
Right.
And so their outdoor ceremony looks out over the farmland in the valley, and then in the distance, you have the cascades.
Right.
So you get
view.
awesome views there, too.
Yeah, I mean, like, we could pretty much say that about every one of these. Because you're going to have awesome views anywhere. But just viewing the Cascades, I mean, come on. All right, next one. French Creek Estates. They can hold 200 guests outside and 60 guests inside. So I guess they're indoor facilities.
It's a house.
Smaller.
It's
right.
It's like a manor house. It looks like a farmhouse to me with big wide porches. It's white. It's clapboard. It's very gorgeous. So if you want to have an intimate ceremony inside, they have a space that you can do an indoor ceremony and reception. But then they do have an outdoor area with an arbor.
Right. The next one is the Rose Hill Community Center. I've not personally been out there. Shannon has. I've seen pictures, and you think a community center, but it's where it's situated, right?
It's right there. It has great views of the water. It's a very modern looking building. And it has a wide open area at the bottom where you can have your reception. It has lots of windows, and so you're looking out over everything. And it's in Mukilteo, which is right next to the ferry terminal. So you have ferries going back and forth, which, if you're ever in Seattle, the ferries are quintessential in Seattle.
Yeah.
It has gorgeous views over Puget Sound.
Right.
And you may see some whales sometime. Yeah, I mean, you never know.
It's very possible. They can hold up to 200 guests. And it's very northwesterny, It's just
a lot of wood and glass and very modern looking.
Yeah, feels like you're in the Northwest. The next one, Red Barn Events.
The Red Barn Events can hold up to 400 guests. Outdoor.
Okay.
400 guests. Because I was looking at that, and it's like, that didn't seem big enough to hold the 400 guests. But they have a big tinted area outside, and then they also have a grassy area where you can have your reception on a clear day. And it's a barn. It's red barn.
Red barn.
And it's very rustic.
The next one is the Marysville Opera House, which can hold 245 guests. So not too big, not too small. A nice little size. It's kind of not necessarily in the middle of town, but it's in town. It's not out in the farmland or anything like that.
Right. It's in their historic downtown area,
right.
Their older part of the town. And it is a historic building. It was built in 1911, and it's on the National Historic Registry.
So it's, basically indoor reception and ceremony. Upstairs, downstairs, I believe is how it was. That's how most of them are. They're chapels and stuff. So you could say it looks like a chapel.
Yeah.
Although it's an opera
house. It has a
house.
stage. It was basically an opera house.
Yeah, an opera house.
I think they show movies and stuff there now, too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay. Fun. And I think it's neat. It was built in 1911. You know, I mean, be unique. Do some interesting thing. The next one, Golf Club at Echo Falls. Have you been there?
No.
Okay, I haven't either.
But we looked at the pictures.
Yes, we looked them up.
We researched these places. So it is a golf club. So you have golf course views, of course, water areas. And they have a nice area that has like man-made falls, like, little waterfall area and stuff like that you can take pictures of. They do have indoor and outdoor sites available.
I think that's a great place to have it, especially if you don't want to go way out into the mountains or into the farmlands or whatever. I think that's a really nice, just a clean space to make it look like what you want.
Golf clubs, they have manicured greens, and it's gorgeous.
It is. So. It's going to be really pretty greens, too.
The next one is the Loft at Russell's. Russell's is a steakhouse restaurant in Bothell. It can hold up to 170 guests. The ceremony can be outdoor. The reception is indoor only. And they provide all catering and alcohol because it's a restaurant.
Right.
So you can't bring catering in-house or alcohol. They do all that for you, which is easy.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about licenses or anything like that. They take care of all that.
I have to say, my husband had a gig there one time, him and his band. And when he came back, he told me, which is very odd for him, he told me it would make a great place to have a wedding.
The loft is an area. It's basically an attic looking area, and it's domed and it has beams around it, and it's very rustic in feel. So
it kind of looks old churchy to me, you know, not necessarily barnish rustic, but an old church look. It's really pretty.
The next one is the Fields at Willie Green's. It can hold 175 guests, and it's open from May to October. This is an outdoor-only venue. They do have a covered timber frame barn, but it's open-sided, so you're not enclosed. And it has a gazebo for your ceremony, if you want that.
Which is kind of an interesting name. Do you remember where this is located?
It's in Monroe.
Monroe, okay. Yeah, not too far from us. So now let's get into the East King. So if you're not from here, Seattle is in King County, but we're on the other side of some water.
Yeah.
So we're the east side.
The east side and the west side
Seattle.
of King County is separated by Lake Washington.
Right.
So when we say east side, we're on the east side of Lake Washington.
Yeah, we're not in Seattle. We're on the other side. So we're going to start with Salish Lodge and Spa, and this is over by Snoqualmie Falls, one of my favorite places to go. I love that place.
And if you've ever watched the show Twin Peaks, it is basically, that's the setting. When they show the falls in Twin Peaks and the building that's above the falls, that's the inn or the lodge that they're at all the time. That's the Salish Lodge, and that's Snoqualmie Falls.
So now you know.
Right.
A little trivia there. So when I was looking through this, they have a couple of different places. You can do small intimate weddings for 15 people, or you can do bigger ones for 150 people. So it's not a 400 people kind of place. It's more of a smaller one, but depending how small that you want. There's 8 ceremony and reception places. So you get to choose from a whole bunch of different places. And something that they tout is that you get the reception facility for 5 hours. So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you're starting at 7 with your reception, you're there till what, midnight? So there you go.
Trinity Tree Farm. We love this venue. It was cute. You can hold up to 150 guests. It's indoor or outdoor, and they have a beautiful view of Mount Rainier. And they have an arbor that you can have your ceremony at, but they also have an indoor space that's wide open. You can have your ceremony and reception inside as well.
That's right. And it's a tree farm. Like
so you
Christmas
have trees. Yeah, you have Christmas trees surrounding you.
So yeah, I think that's pretty neat. And what I also liked was they had an outdoor lounge area with an outdoor fireplace. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I personally like that kind of stuff. We've talked about this one, I think, before, Novelty Hill Chinook, and it's a winery, but it's also a wedding venue.
And it's very modern in feel. There's a lot of concrete, very modern lines. Of course, you have the wine barrels all around as well. Yes. It can seat 120 guests. You can do indoor and outdoor. Indoor is really kind of, I don't know where you would have your indoor ceremony.
I think it's in the same room as you would have the.
So there would have to be a transition time between your ceremony and reception. But they have 2 great spaces outside. One against a colored wall. And then there's another intimate ceremony space that you can have.
And it's they're also very manicured. It's not wild or rustic or
like I said, it's a lot of clean lines, a lot of concrete, and you can also have you can also go into their garden areas and walk around in there and things like that.
You would think, looking at it from the outside, oh no, we're not getting married here. But once you step inside, you're like, oh, I can see this. It's surprising when you get inside.
Right.
The next one is Hollywood Schoolhouse, and that's here in Woodinville. Also, Chinook is in Woodinville. There's a lot here in Woodinville, which is East King, and we really like it. All right. Hollywood Schoolhouse, 220 guests. And this one's also historic. Yes. I really like that.
It was established in 1912. And they provide all catering and beverages.
Right. No cakes.
No cakes. You have to bring your own cake vendor, but it's a wide open ballroom with gorgeous chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, historic wood floors. I mean, they have the original oak wood floors in there.
It's really pretty once you get inside. Yeah.
It's very classic, very traditional feel.
And I think they have some smaller little kind of courtyard garden areas, but I don't think you can get married out there. That's mainly just for...
I think it said you can get married in one of their...
Can you? It would have to be very small, though, I think.
So it's basically an indoor space.
Yeah.
If you have 220 guests, I think you're going to have to do indoor.
Definitely. And I think they have some balconies, too. It's really pretty. And it's actually right there in the wine district is what we're calling
tourist
it. Yeah.
district. Yeah.
There are tons of wineries around.
Tons of restaurants.
Wine tasting. I mean, that you could make it a full, fun week even if you wanted to. The next one I know you've heard us talk about, DeLille. It's also a winery that we've worked at a few times.
Yeah. And they have a chateau. They have two different spots in Woodinville. One's the tasting room and then one's the chateau. The chateau is where they hold their weddings. It's basically an intimate space. You can have up to 200 guests. You can have indoor reception. You can have an indoor ceremony or an outdoor ceremony. They have a great spot with like a pond and didn't it have a
gazebo?
And what am I thinking? A waterfall?
No, I don't think there's a waterfall. I think there's
not a waterfall. There was just a pond. Okay,
I can't remember specifically.
Never mind.
But I do remember that there was a nice flat spot out there that you could set up an arbor in front of the water. They do have a gazebo, but I think you would want to use that other space. And they also have a few grapes growing out there.
Right.
I don't know how well they grow, but it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's
and
really
it also
pretty.
has a tinted area for the reception as well. So you can go out on the patio. The patio is really nice. It has a trellis.
That's where the little waterfall is.
Yeah, that's where the waterfall is.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can have different places to set it up for ceremony and reception.
Yes. It has the grand room is what it's called. And it was neat, which we went through this with one of our brides. We were supposed to do it outside, but it was supposed to rain pretty heavily right at the time they were going to be getting married. So we had to make a quick call and end up doing it inside. And we even brought the arbor inside, and it looked gorgeous.
Yes, it has a great grand fireplace there, which is great for a ceremony if you're going to do it inside.
And that's what we've talked about, your plan B. When you can't have it outside, you need to bring it inside. It's another show.
The next one is Willow's Lodge. We love this place.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It is a lodge. It has rooms available to rent, so you can have your wedding party or whoever stay there as well. They do small weddings.
Right. They specialize in them, actually.
They specialize in small weddings and elopements.
Yes.
So 20 to 50 guests. They have the tables, ceremony and reception chairs, dance floor, glassware, flatware, all the things that you need.
Yes.
are available to rent.
Right. They have award-winning food and restaurants there.
They have 2 restaurants.
Well, actually 3.
3. Well, the
lodge area.
Yeah.
I guess they get the food from one of the other places, but
and they also have a spa there. So I mean, if you go the day before, and you want to get all your pampering done before your day, it's a great place to go.
I have to say, we ate at. We didn't eat at the herb farm, but we've eaten at the Barking Frog. We had a breakfast there, and it was freaking delicious. I'll just have to say, gourmet, just good. But it's a really good place for a honeymoon or an anniversary too.
Right.
So if you don't end up getting married there, you should look them up.
So the Robbinswood House is in Bellevue. It can hold up to 225 guests, and it's a barn type. It's a barn.
Yeah, it's a barn.
And the good thing about it, if you're going to do a late night, you can stay there till 2 a.m.
Which is unique because you can't around here.
Right. Most of the ones in Woodinville and the wine district here, you can only stay till around 10.
Yeah.
Because of the noise ordinances around.
Yeah.
I can't talk today, so I'm sorry.
That's fine. They understand. Yeah. The Lake Wilderness Lodge holds 250 guests, and they have scenic views of the lake. It's just a very simple...
It's outdoor.
Yeah, outdoor place.
The Woodmark Hotel in Kirkland It holds 240 guests, and it has great views of Lake Washington. It looks out over the marina. Mm-hmm. And the tinted space is gorgeous. It is permanently tinted, so it has the draping, the white gauzy drapes on the inside, and then it also has chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, so it's a gorgeous tent. So if you're thinking tent, it's not.
It's nice to keep the rain off of you.
Right.
But I think, aren't they clear so you can see out?
Yeah, they have the windows in them.
Yes.
And they also have indoor ballrooms, too. So if you want to do it indoor, you can.
I mean, it is a hotel.
Yeah.
And the last one that we have on our list here is the Pickering Barn, which we're going to be having a wedding at, right?
Yes. This place is huge.
It is huge.
There's 2 different places you can have a ceremony or reception. And it can hold up to 400 guests. You can have an outdoor ceremony and an indoor reception, or you can have them both indoor. It doesn't really matter. It's a rustic barn. It's a farm. They have what you call the dairy...
Creamery.
The creamery building, and then there's another building, I don't remember the name, but they're all both wide open. They're very rustic looking. It's a farm.
Yeah, it's a farm.
So,
which you can make it anything you want, I guess. And this one's in Issaquah.
It's in Issaquah, and it's owned by the city.
Right. So, if you're looking for something for a lot of guests, that would be a good one to check out. So we must tell you that for the month of March, we are going to be releasing 1 episode a week instead of our regular 2. We don't know about April yet. We'll decide on that when it comes. But every Friday, look for a new episode from us. Not on Mondays, but on Fridays. There's 5 Fridays, so we're doing 5.
We're doing 5 in March. Plus, we're going to do blog posts. So if you have blog post topics that you want to know about, email us. Hashtag us, do something, because I need blog post topics, because I'm the one blogging.
Hey, I'm going to try. I'll help. I can talk. I can't write.
Because we're planning on doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Because we love our listeners and we love to give you information.
Yeah, and this is fun. I mean, It's weddings. It's not like we're reporting on the news or something.
Right.
So, again, if you have any topics you want us to talk about, which some of you have reached out to us and gave us some topics that you want to know something about, which we have on our list, and we thank you so much for all that. But if you do want to reach out to us anytime, email us, info@fromringtoveil.com. We'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Or, of course, hashtags on any of the social medias. Or on Facebook, which we are always on. I know you guys know that. So, From Ring to Veil at Facebook. Message us. We'll get right back to you.
Right. So until next time, no stress, no worries. Keep calm and listen on. Thank you for listening to our podcast. You can find us on Facebook, From Ring to Veil, on Twitter, @From Ring to Veil, and on our website, FromRingToVeil.com.
Music provided by bensound.com.